Hello.
Hi, hello guys. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see so many faces. We've got a few more coming in. I'm sure we'll have latecomers, so I'll just give a couple of seconds while they're all coming. I'd love to know who's in the room. So please, I'm going to go around in order. Elena, you came in first. So just say your name and give us your one line on what your company is. So just tell us who you are.
I'm Elena, co-founder of Pocket IP. We make intellectual property easy and simple for legal firms and also just for people.
Love that. Great start with Elena. Thanks. Next on my screen, I've got Serena. Do you want to go next, Serena?
Yes. Hello, I'm Sorina. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Recycllux.
And what does Recycllux do?
We are cleaning the seas of plastic waste with big tech.
Amazing. Love that. One close to my heart. Can't wait to hear more. Molly, I've got you next on screen. I think you're a duo,
Yes.
so please introduce both of you.
So I'm Molly and this is Connie. We're the co-founders of Somi, which is an AI shopping app where you can shop new and pre-loved all in one place.
Love it. Great. Great to see both. Mark, I've got you next on my screen.
Hello, my name is Mark. I'm CEO and co-founder of CyberSec. We migrate the absolute cryptographic algorithms to post-quantum cryptography algorithms.
Love it. Thank you, Mark. Andrea, you're next up.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, my name is Andrea. I'm the founder of Yetaku, which is a one-stop shop mobile app that matches property seekers to property sellers and other service providers in the real estate sphere. Banks, insurance, retailers, everything.
Brilliant. Thanks, Andrea. Lewis, I've got you next on my screen.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Caroline. I'm Luis Manuel Fernandez. Everybody calls me Luisma. I'm founder and CEO of Alvearium. We are creating a platform for users to enjoy real-life activities, but in a different way than we usually do. Right now, we are using phones, screens in 2D, in computers or TVs. We are moving forward to 3D environments. Immersive spaces, as we call it, the metaverse. We don't like the word, but everybody understands it. So we use XR technology, and we integrate as well with artificial intelligence. We are starting with activities in Madrid, mainly for tourism. So we integrate culture, entertainment, and commerce for Madrid in our platform.
Love it. Lewis, that was almost a 1-minute pitch, but it's fine. I'm going to roll with it. So guys, just keep it to who you are and a bit of a one-liner. That would be great. But Lewis, I'm going to come back to you later.
Okay, sorry.
No worries. Don't worry at all. Adriano, hi. Lovely to see you. Do you want to just say hello and tell us who you are and your startup?
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Caroline, for the opportunity today. My name is Adriano. I'm the founder of One Livery UK. We are a UK London-based company helping retailers to reduce the 24 hours delivery time to 1 hour. So we focus on
Adriano, I'm going to hold you there because I'm keeping it to one-liners, but that was a perfect one-liner. You did so well. Thank you so much for sharing.
Awesome.
Next, no worries at all. Just who you are and your one-liner for those coming in late. I've got next on my screen. I apologize if I pronounce your name wrong. Zachary?
Yeah, that's about it. Zakaria.
Zachariah.
Hello,
Okay.
I'm Zakaria, founder of Edurest. We help employees and individuals learn how to use and adopt complex enterprise software like SAP, Oracle, Salesforce, etc. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much, guys. It's wonderful to see you all. I'm going to go around the room today and we're going to hear the 1-minute pitches from the semi-finalists for Startup Malta. So a huge thank you to Malta Enterprise for setting this up. And as I go around the room, there's going to be some no-shows, there's going to be some late people. And so when we have extra time, those of you in the room are going to have the opportunity to ask me more questions and to really sharpen up your pitches. Today, the format is going to be that we're going to run through your 1-minute pitch and I'm going to give you 2 minutes of feedback. The reason we're doing that is because it is such a brilliant skill to have your 1-minute pitch. That is the crucial information in your pitch to get investors excited about the opportunity and to want to work with you. So I'm going to make sure the key ingredients are in your pitch. Then you're going to go away and you're going to be working on your 7-minute pitch and your 5-minute pitch. Now that 7-minute pitch is with your slides, that's with your presentation, and that's going to feel like familiar territory to where you've been going for investment before. The next piece, for those of you who make the final, and you all need to be prepared, whether you make it or not, is having that 5 minutes where you're going to be in the pitch black stage, where you'll be standing in the pitch black, but under the spotlight. There will be no screens. There will be nothing to support you, only your voice and painting a picture with your words and really taking people on the amazing journey you're going to take them on with your startup. I'm so excited for all of you. I want to give you as much value in this session as possible, so tips and advice on how we do it. But as I say, this session is very focused on what are the key messages you must have in your pitch to make sure that you walk away with that investment you want and the opportunity to work with the great mentors that are involved in Startup Malta. So, everybody, please grab a pen and paper and ask yourself questions as I'm giving feedback to everybody else. What does this feedback mean to me? How can I use this information to sharpen up my pitch? And most importantly, walk away with some confidence and clarity on how you're going to strengthen up your superpowers to be more memorable, more compelling, and more clear on the day. I want you all to take away a hell yes from investors. I want them clamoring at your door and you feeling so much more confident to go out there and pitch. So for those of you who've not met me before, I'm Caroline Kay. I'm the founder of Vincitor. It's a name nobody can pronounce, spell, unless you're Italian, but it basically means the word for win. The reason I chose it is because it's when you bet everything, go all in, and you win big. That for me sums up entrepreneurship. You're all superstars. You all applied for this opportunity, so I know you're action takers, and now I want to help you win. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to use my 19 years worth of experience helping people from startups to globally creative agencies win millions in new business. I know how to do this and I'm here to help you today. So please have questions for me at the end. There will be a Q&A. Other than that, I think we can just get going. So let me set up who I've got on my list. I'm going to go through my running order. If they're not here, I'm just sliding on to the next person. I will put a timer up on screen. You'll see you've got that minute. If you feel like you have more to say, don't worry, just stop. Let's feedback on what you've got. And then you can take the notes and tell me if you already knew that, you were going to say it, that's fine. But let's try and keep to the 1 minute. So I just keep to my time frame for this session. So first on my list, let's have a look. We're going to go through pre-seed first, and then we'll move on to the seed round. But for pre-seed, do we have anyone from IceCap Systems in the house? If I shout your name, just take your microphone, put your microphone on and say hello. If not, do we have lemons in the room? Do we have OpenCyberAI?
Yes, that's me. Hi, everyone.
Hello, great, Vlad. So happy to see you. Okay, amazing.
Likewise.
So Vlad, did you catch all of that in terms of how we're going to run today?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. Okay. In which case, I'm going to set my timer up on screen and then we're going to get started. So take it away. The 1 minute pitch. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Vlad Trigubov. I'm from OpenCyberAI. I'm the Chief Business Development Officer and a founding member. We are a cybersecurity training center and a cybersecurity simulator that trains cyber professionals up to 30 times faster than conventional methods. And we don't just operate and help individuals get a job in cybersecurity. We also serve educators, enhance their cybersecurity courses. We are an international organization. We operate in multiple markets, and we are also AI first, meaning that we have a very lean team and all of us are cybersecurity engineers. Thank you.
Okay, under time. And I would say that's great because you're keeping to time. But what I would say is you've got time. And this is for all of you. You've got more time than you think. And really make sure you take a deep breath and go a little bit slower for us. That was such rapid pace and such high energy, Vlad. I wasn't quite catching everything you were saying, and I'm not taking home the key messages right now. So my biggest piece of advice for you today is just slow it all down and really take a breath, and let's really think about what is the most important. I understood you were deep tech. I understood it was cybersecurity, but I was wondering why? Why does that matter? What is it that's happening right now? And when I looked at your previous documents and everything that you're sharing, I know you've got the answer. So just come on and tell us, why is this the most important thing right now?
You mean for us as a company or for the world?
For the world.
Well, cybersecurity crime is the fastest underground economy in the world. There's a huge shortage in cybersecurity jobs worldwide, and it's the third most sought job right now after software engineers and data scientists. So we are on a mission to help close this gap.
Okay, what I loved about that is that you talked about your mission, but the mission was almost lost in that, well, our mission is to close this gap. What I would suggest to you with that, bring your mission right up front. You are doing something vital and important at this key moment in time. And this goes for everybody here. There is a reason that you feel that this is the burning moment to start your startup. If you don't do it, we're literally talking about cybercrime, in Vlad's case, taking over. And this is really an imperative right now for businesses. The investors want to know, why are they funding you right now? Why is this going to scale so quickly? They're going to see their investment come back. And Vlad, one of the things you wrote inside your application was cybercrime is growing faster than most organizations can defend it. That line is so strong. That's instant, like, wow, this is happening. Nobody's ready for this. That shows that this urgent need is now. So some of the wording you've got in your pitches can really make this strong and it can land. So then it's why you. So let's get into that. Vlad, why is your team, why are you pivotal for this right now?
I've been working with startups for over 10 years. Along me, our founding team, Armand and Gaetian. Armand has helped scale Lime. As you know, it's a very popular company across the globe. Gaetian, who is our CTO, has over 10 years of experience and working for top-tier companies such as Visa, MasterCard. So together with us, we have our advisor, who is the former EdTech founder with an exit. So together, we are the team that is shaping the future of cybersecurity education.
I love that answer. That was great, because what you talked about there was the strength and quality of your team and the fact that you've got great advisors on board. That's a wonderful element to have in. For all of you, there is something called the 3 T's. It's your team, it's your traction, and it's your technology. And Vlad, what I would suggest to you is that you have really an opportunity to talk about your technology, not going into the intricacies and the detail, because I promise you, nobody needs to understand that like you do, but they want to know why you, what's your unfair advantage? Can you tell me what your unfair advantage is against anyone else trying to do this right now?
It's
okay. I can see you debating, but I know you know the answer because I've seen it in your deck.
Good question.
Okay. All right. I'm going to leave that one with you. I'm telling you because I know the answer. I'm going to leave you to ponder that. I'm going to come back to at the end and see if you figured it out. How about look back through your application and see what you've written there, because it's there and it's gold. So I'm going to move on next, and we're going to come to a Q&A at the end, Vlad, so you can have more questions to ask me. You come to me then. Next online, my agenda, I've got Pocket IP. Do we have someone from Pocket IP here?
Olena, I was the first one.
Oh, Lena, great. Okay, well, I love that you were first. Let me reset the clock and then we're going to get going again. So your minute is on. Time starts now.
Hi, I'm Elena, co-founder and CEO of Pocket IP. We make intellectual property protection simple, accessible, and affordable for everyone. Today, over 40,000 new trademark applications are filed daily, and managing them across country is chaotic. IP specialists like me waste hours on routine tasks, and one mistake can cost millions. I experienced this firsthand running my law firm and found no solution. That's why we built Pocket IP, a fully digital platform that automates trademark protection. What once took days now takes just a few minutes. Our model combines subscription for management tools with commission on transactions like Uber for trademarks. Since launching in 2022, we've attracted global clients, including Foxconn, Unilever, HSBC, and Vanity Fair, all without external funding. Recognized as one of the US most promising deep tech startups, we scaled it rapidly to become the leading global IP service provider, transforming trademark protection just as Uber transforming transport. Thank you.
Well done, well done. You did well to keep it under the time, but I would say again, similarly, you went so fast. I was struggling to keep up with you. And so really, it's another one of, you're not going to be on the clock of 1 minute. It is one of the hardest pitches to do. But it's very important that when you have all the content and you're thinking, I've got to go fast because I need to hit the time, strip it down to the key elements, let things land. think about it like you're telling people a lot of information that they need to digest. Imagine you're stood in front of a crowd and you throw them a bunch of sweets. Only a few people will catch them. You just want to be throwing one sweet to one person so they're catching it, they're understanding it, and they're really happy to have learned something from you. So what you said there was brilliant. You talked a lot about one of the T's, traction. You really did discuss how much you are building up with amazing client base. So you name dropped big clients like Unilever, and you absolutely started to talk about the fact that you are established, you're testing, and you really talked about your vision and ambition. And that vision and ambition was a little lost in that high speed pitch, but it is so powerful. And talking about your vision, guys, where you're going, in this case, Elena talks about the fact, okay, Uber does with taxis, what Airbnb does with real estate, we are going to do with trademark services. Again, what's your unfair advantage? What is it that makes you the right person to do this over anyone else in the market right now? Elena, do you have an answer for that for me now?
I think that the main advantage is that we discovered me in person because I have 18 years practice in IP. I tried to find solution 15 years ago and also continue to do it. And during the COVID, we are starting to thinking about it. And now I'm like the first user of our platform. And also I create and I'm like a person also as a lawyer. And I know what maybe world wants to have in trademark registration, etc. So I can explain the details. I know the market, and I know the market almost 20 years. So
exactly.
I think
Elena, that is your expertise and experience, and that talks to credibility. That doesn't talk to an unfair advantage. There will be somebody else in the market with maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more experience. Maybe they're building it, maybe they're not. That's not a defendable position. You have a defendable position when you talk about what your technology does that nobody else is doing right now. Nobody else has had that breakthrough. If you're going to patent what you're doing, if you are going to do any of the work that makes this a defendable position and gives you an unfair advantage. One of the things that you can do is you can trademark services in a few clicks. That's one, powerful, very easy to understand. And two, the fact that you can do this so quickly. Is that part of my question to you? Is that something you can defend?
Okay, may I rephrase?
Yes, you may.
Okay, the main advantage is that Pocket AP is the first solution which includes 4 main points: fast trademark registration, docketing system, alert system, and monitoring. No other solution in the market right now.
That's very good. So we're now talking about what we do that nobody else does. That's great. Again, I'm just going to beg you to slow down. Like you speak so quickly, so fast, you've got time. Okay, so just slow down with all of this, but you're on the right tracks now. Really well done. Thanks for coming up to the stage, Elena. Please ask questions as we get to the end. Okay, next on my list, I have Recycllux, who I'm sure I've had in the room because I get all excited about you. Do you want to come on?
Yes.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
I'm here.
Okay, let's start the clock for you. The floor is yours.
Every year, 12 million tons of plastic end up in our seas, poisoning marine life and threatening coastal communities. For me, it isn't abstract. I was swimming with my children when I saw plastic floating all around us. That moment, I promised to act. I founded Recycllux, a blue tech startup, using AI, satellite data, and blockchain to detect, trace, and orchestrate marine plastic cleanups. We connect companies seeking to offset their plastic pollution footprint with existing local cleanup capacity, fishing vessels, coastal NGOs, and recyclers. Every piece collected is tracked on blockchain so companies that fund interventions can finally prove they've made a difference. Not PR, not greenwashing, but real, traceable climate impact. We've already built partnerships on the Black Sea coast, signed pilot customers, and are now coming to Malta to establish our Mediterranean base. Our vision is a world where the seas are plastic-free and local communities are the heroes making this happen.
Oh, wow, look at that on time. Amazing. Well, that was a really great pitch, Serena. Well done. What I loved about it was where you're really starting with the emotional hook and you're talking about how you've seen this and you cannot look away anymore. It's so powerful and something that is going to work really well for you when you're standing on that stage with all of you, where you have a longer time on stage, really telling your story, talking about your vision, talking about the mission that you have, and aligning that with why this is now that we need to do it. So Serena, when I'm hearing this from you, it's very much you're talking about who your customers are, the fact that this is needed. They need to prove that they're not just greenwashing, as you say, or doing it for PR. So there's a real need for it. But there is a case of this been around for a while. People are almost hearing about this for a long time. So why now? Like, absolutely, why now? And I really know that you have the answer for this because you have staggering stats around actually the amount of plastic. And there were some other things as well that I saw in your deck. So could you tell us, why is this critical moment now that this is a big change?
So it's a combination of several things that reached tipping point at the same time. So first, the marine plastic pollution problem cannot be ignored because it reached the alarming levels. Second, the regulation is enforced now, and the companies are facing huge fines if they are not doing it. And third, the technologies have reached a point where it makes this possible.
Amazing. Really, really well done. Now, I know I've put you on the spot, so you didn't have the stats and facts in front of you, but alarming levels to somebody is sort of very subjective to what alarming levels are to someone else. So
if no action is done, it will cost the economy 350 billion per year, the global economy.
Great. Okay, that's a really good number, especially if you're talking to somebody who is, so for example, in government, and that's going to affect their spending. But think about when you're talking to investors, what is it, and this is for all of you, what is it they care about? What are they interested in? And so getting to those points, which you probably have in your back pocket, Serena,
of course,
you're eager to talk, but it's getting to the point of let's understand what an alarming level is of plastic pollution. So it's looking at that trend that you put so brilliantly in your application from where it's grown from to where it is now. When you talk about those staggering number changes, that is alarming because you were talking about from 2 million tons to 460 million tons. That is staggering. And everyone can feel that and sort of imagine the weight of it, you know? And when you're talking about really, then you'll need to be looking at your financials. So what is it in terms of when you see, we're going to need to talk about revenues. So what are your projections? How much is the investment going to be? How can we speed that up? So there's a few areas you can play with. And I know that it's early for you, but it's absolutely a time to say, this is why now, and this is where we see the opportunity. So we'll come to a Q&A at the end, but you've done a really great job so far. I hope that gives you some points to build on.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's see, have we got next up, Somi? We do, the lovely girls, there we are, Molly and Connie, let's go. I'm going to just set the clock up for you and off you go.
AI shopping assistants have arrived. The customers are ready, but retailers aren't. AI has shifted search from pages of options to a single ranked answer. If product data doesn't speak how we search, great items don't get shown, and it's bad for shoppers and sellers.
The solution is SoMe, our AI shopping platform. Shoppers get a clean, personalized swipe-to-like feed across new, pre-loved, and rental.
Under the hood, we rewrite sellers' messy product data to speak human, so people and AI agents can return a tight, personal shortlist. We've already done the groundwork, integrating over 20,000 products and got market validation from almost 1,000 users. We've also got affiliate approvals from A1 and Rakuten and big names in the pipeline for our AI readiness audits.
We're a team of experienced marketers, and our CTO has deep AI and e-com experience. We're raising $250,000 to scale product enrichment and our taste graph, grow community, and roll out our audits. We're done.
Great, masterclass in getting it under 1 minute. Amazing. Okay, that was a really good pitch. You spoke very clearly. You were very, very good at doing it with the two of you for in a 1 minute. That's quite hard. So well done for that. And are you absolutely bringing across your team experience and talking about that really well? You also talked about your traction fantastically well in this respects of, in that very short time, the fact that you have strong signals, you've got, you know, in terms of the numbers that are coming through. I saw in your deck, you also have a real opportunity to talk about the traction that you've had in terms of that small organic push that you talked about and the fact that you achieved those signups in such a short time and the conversion that you had. So really talk about things that aren't just sort of nice indicators, good signs, good names, but actually hard facts like we have done this and we know that that has informed our predictions. That's really strong. You talk a little bit about the tech at the beginning and what it is and what it does. And again, it's getting this to the real heartland of why now? Why is this critical now? Why is the opportunity so perfect for you to come in? And what would be your unfair advantage? Could you talk to that a little now?
Yeah, sure. So our unfair advantage is really that we were building SOMI back when everybody was just talking about ChatGPT starting and like, you know, how it was helping write blogs and such. But we were actually using it to scrape product data, and really we got the first glimpse at how screwed retailers are for when AI shopping becomes a thing. And what we're seeing right now is loads of AI shopping platforms are popping up and they're offering AI shopping assistance, but they're not helping the retailers be seen. So we've already seen the problem firsthand. And right now we're having those conversations with retailers, whereas everyone else is kind of still working on just the AI communication side of it. So it's a much bigger problem than people realize on the face of it.
Great. That's really good in terms of you talking about how your competitors are attacking this and therefore how you have a defendable position right now because you're ahead of the game. You were already doing this when other people were looking elsewhere. And so you're already further along than they are. So you've got that early mover advantage. Absolutely. It's exciting that you're talking about how other people are doing slightly different models, slightly different looks. You know who your competitors are, but where you have that unfair advantage is that you're not just allowing something to be skinning something else, but you're actually collecting the data that is going to be dynamic, it's going to evolve. So you really have some brilliant sales points to talk about that will make investors see that not only are you got a defendable position because you're ahead of the curve, you've already built the system to learn the way you want it to learn. So you've really got some great gems in there. Keep going with it. And think in the early part of your pitch as well, there is an opportunity for you to really tighten it up. So thinking about how you can stand out very differently from anybody else that they may have heard from before in this space of retail tech. So you've got some ways of just tightening up those first lines to have something really hard hitting to go, this is why SOMI is different. And that's the area I'd really encourage you to explore a bit more. And we can talk further at the end. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Coming on, girls. Okay. Let's have a look. That is what we've got for pre-seed. So let's see, is anybody else in the pre-seed applications that's just joined or come late that feels they should have come up to the stage? Please let me know now. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the seed round. And have we got Lewis from Alvearium? Alvearium?
This is me. I'm sorry for before. Okay.
Lewis, don't worry, that's fine. No problem at all. Okay, I'm going to set the clock and the floor is yours. Go for it.
Okay, so picture this. You are in Madrid, you enter in a Zara shop to buy in Gran Via, and later you attend a concert in Retiro. But you are not walking its streets. You are feeling them from your living room, wherever you are, in Tokyo, New York, Dubai, Paris. At Alvearium, we are redefining how humans interact with cities, culture, brands, and each other through a fully immersive platform where the real and virtual merge. Extended reality, AI, and blockchain all in one place. So let's say we are building the YouTube of 3D and immersive content. And yes, you are right if you are thinking that we are in a huge market because we are talking about ads business model. So far, we have already invoiced more than 300,000 euros, so we have a track record, and we have worked with worldwide companies like Uber Eats, Red Bull, Shopify, and public institutions mainly from Madrid. Thank you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Lewis, you nailed it. Well, that was really great. I think you did an amazing pitch there. You really addressed one of my favorite parts of that was the elephant in the room. It's like, oh, but everybody's in this space. You think it's a massive market? Well, yeah, it is. But the fact is we're already got our traction. We're already working with the best. That is an amazing way to just dispel some of those feelings of people leaning back and going, well, this isn't for me, and make them lean in and go, oh, yes, it really should be. And this is why we're the ones to back. So I think that was the best part of your pitch and I really enjoyed it. Your pacing was excellent. You talked slowly. I wouldn't have even thought I had a minute clock on. You were talking very slowly, no problem. I've got areas of time. So everybody, please learn from this. This is the kind of pacing we want when we're doing our pitches. You've got so many accolades to talk about. It's going to be so hard for you to choose the ones. And I think you did an excellent selection choice there. So what you're doing in Madrid, what you've done with Uber Eats, it's absolutely critical for all of you to think about at the end of your pitch, your ask. And that's what I felt was missing, Lewis. So how much do you want? what are you going to be doing with that funding? And with that funding, how are you looking then to really invest that to see that big return for those investors? That's what they're interested in. So you've got a lot of points you can hero. You can use those visually. So you're going to have areas where you have the slides. So we're award winning, for example. Great. Have some of those logos up on slide. We're working with some of the biggest names in blockchain and meta. Great. Have some of those up as well. When it comes to you painting the picture, telling people to imagine this, that was wonderful. You're engaging the audience straight away. You're asking them to do something. That's a great way of making them listen and tune in, because they've just been talked at for a long time by others. So all of you, if you can find a way to not talk at the investors, but include them in your story, that's an amazing skill to have. Where you've got a real opportunity to expand on your pitch, because you're going to have 7 minutes, you're going to be able to talk about the model. They're going to be interested in how are you making money? Who are you making with? The numbers that you've got, what are the projects in the pipeline? What is the value of those and why? Why is that important? And really thinking about what you're looking for going ahead. So when you say, I'm looking for a 300K, exactly what are you going to do with that 300K and how is that going to map out? And usually try and find the 3 main things that are going to be used to actually accelerate that growth. But otherwise, I think you did a great job. I hope there's something in there. We can always have Q&A at the end as well, Lewis. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Do we have in the room, I think we do, Konboi. Have we got Konboi with us? I think we have, but he's not coming online. Pejvan, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name.
Pejvan, yes, that's me.
There you
Hi.
are, Pejvan. Great. Hi, you're from Konboi, right?
Oh, sorry, it's not Konboi, it's Konboi. That's why
Konboi, that's my fault. Excuse me. Okay, well, I'm glad I knew that you were in the room. We didn't skip past
you. Found
you.
a nice anagram for
Apologies for that. Okay, we are going to set the clock. The stage is yours. Go for it.
All right. Did you know that those noisy, polluting, annoyingly slow trucks clogging our highways are actually the lifeblood of our physical economy? Every product you buy at the supermarkets gets there by truck. Every medicine at the pharmacy. Virtually every good you touch has ridden in one. And yet, road freight, the backbone of our physical economy, is on the verge of breaking. The structural shortage of truck drivers, which has been plaguing the industry for years, has reached 500,000 at the end of 2024. And with the average long-haul truck consuming 100,000 liters of fuel per year, trucks generate 8% of all the CO2 emissions in the EU, putting fleets under enormous regulatory pressure. At Konboi, we develop advanced AI technologies for commercial vehicles, and we specialize in intelligent fuel optimization and autonomous driving. Our products help trucking companies reduce fuel consumption, emissions, and dependency on human drivers.
Okay. Well done. Well done. You got a lot in there. And I really think you spoke with great pacing, and you absolutely came into this asking people to really think about how they're getting everything that they're getting, how essential trucking is to our daily lives. You know, this is what's going to be the way we operate. Now, in terms of feedback that I would give you, when you're sharing your pitch, when you're getting people to lean in to think about it, you've got to ask, A, who is your audience that you're speaking to, and why do they care about what you're talking about? Sometimes we can talk to the problem if we were talking to consumers, and perhaps, yes, they would start to really resonate with that pitch. But will an investor? Yes, they're still people, but it's getting to the point of what they care about and doing it quickly. And also, by the time we got to the last 10 seconds of that pitch, that's when I finally understood what you did. So I'm questioning the whole time. You have between 10 and 20 seconds to get the attention of the investors. If you don't capture it in that first 10 to 20 seconds, they're not listening to the rest. So they haven't got to the next part. They've tuned out, they're starting to look at phones, they're very busy people. But actually, even though they're in a room, they've just sort of got to overload. So we really need to hook them in and hook them in fast. And they need to understand what an exciting opportunity this is. Now, when I read your deck, I can tell you, my eyes were popping out. I was like, wow, there is a lot in there. You have got so much to talk about. And it is that challenge of what are the ways that you want to talk about that? But there are some real opportunities for you to help them, just as we talked about a moment ago, to think about this could be a big market space. There is a lot of competitors that could potentially come into it, but you have reasons that you stand apart, you're way ahead of the curve, and you absolutely have an opportunity to talk about that. There is you've got such a really amazing subject matter. So autonomous driving is something that people kind of stand at poles apart, like, no, it's not going to be safe, or yes, it's going to be great. And that, I think, is going to be about what's the risk involved for an investor? Like, is this something that's going to take off? Is this going to take years to take off? Or is this going to be now? Are they going to see a return on their investment? And when you go through your deck, I could see so many reasons why you are the horse to back. So you need to bring those to the forefront and actually talk about the fact that you are the only company authorized to run autonomous trucks in France. That is a huge win. And already, all right, autonomous, the only ones that are doing it, that's putting you up. You've got credibility, and I'm listening. Is getting in the fact that you are working with some of the biggest in the ecosystem. Those things make me sit up and listen. The fact that you've got Ford Trucks and DAF, they are massive names. It don't even need to be in trucking to know who they are, because we all see them on the motorway every single day as they're driving by us or holding us up in traffic. So you know that these people will resonate, these names will resonate. And the fact that actually your team, so as we talked about traction, you've got that in spades. Team, you have got an amazing team that you can talk about in this space. So really bring that to the forefront. And actually, I think you've got an opportunity to talk about your technology in a great way. I love the way you've named it. So Marcel and Hypermile, there is a real opportunity to talk about that and the fact that you are doing this in a very staged approach. Sometimes we're trying to eat the whole elephant, and so people think, well, that's great, but we're going to invest millions before you get to where you want to go. You're already talking very clearly about the fact that with Hypermile, you're getting people value now, they're seeing results now, you can win clients today, and then you are set the stage for the next level. So that shows real opportunity for growth, and I was blown away by your deck. So let's get your pitch to do the same. I hope that's helped, and that
that helps a lot, except that, as you mentioned, we have so much to say that it's very hard to put it in 3-4 minutes, let alone 1 minute.
Absolutely, absolutely. So have the things that are important in the 1 minute that are your essentials. So again, talking about that traction, talking about that team, and talking about the technology, and the technology in a way that helps people understand, if this feels so big, how we've made it accessible now, how we're at the forefront now, and how this is something that if you're going to bet anyone, you bet on us, because we're already dominating the market. So you have a lot to talk about. Focus on the key elements that are going to make the investors sit up and listen, and then work on telling your story around that, and you're going to do great.
All right. Thank you very much
Okay.
for the feedback. We get access to the recording, right?
Yes, for being here, you guys get a copy of the recording, and you can also reach out to me and ask me questions too. Okay, so let's have a look. Studies in. Do I have studies in the room, or do I have Edumentors and everybody counts? I don't think they were going to make it. Brain chip or open food chain? Who have I missed? Have I missed somebody on the list? Does anyone feel that, Caroline, I should have spoken and you haven't called me up to the stage? Now is your time. Please tell me.
How about address? Do you have it in the list?
Have I got you on the list? The name is Edres.
Yeah, address.
Edres. Are you in, bear with me a second. Were you in pre-seed or seed?
Pre-seed.
Ah, okay. In which case, I don't have you on my list. Why is that? That's very strange.
Okay.
Okay, but you're in the semi-finals and you're coming through, are you, with Edres?
I received an email with the semi-finalists, but I don't know if it's. Let me check. Like it talks about the opportunity to just watch the semi-finalist pitch, maybe. So we don't need to pitch.
Yeah, I think that was it. So it's because I haven't reviewed your decks. If you haven't been part of the semi-finals, then I haven't reviewed your, just so I can't give you the feedback the same on your pitch. However, you're here, and this could allow me to open the floor to Q&A. And by all means, if you have a question for me, this is your opportunity. And so with the others in the room, is there, from the people who've gone through, I'm going to circle back round to you and see what questions that you might have for me. So going back to OpenCyberAI, Vlad, come back to me. Did you come back up with your unfair advantage?
Yes, I have. So at OpenCyberAI, we don't just teach cybersecurity, we make people live it. Our students go from answering questions to stopping cyber attacks in one seamless experience. In other words, it's where theory meets practice, all under one roof. And this our innovative approach makes cybersecurity education one, hands-on, high impactful, three, ready for the real world.
Very good, very good. You're absolutely pulling on the right thread with that. It's still quite long in terms of you and sort of talking through that. There are ways to be more short and impactful, and I would advise this with all of you. Like the first line is like sort of hit them between the eyes with it, like this is big, guys. And then if you need to unpack that a little bit, that's absolutely fine. But be really clear with that first line about what your unfair advantage is. You talked there about it not just being that you're teaching it, but you're actually activating these people. So what I heard in your pitch deck, which I thought was absolute gold, was you train cyber professionals 30 times faster than conventional methods. That is your line that hits you between the eyes and goes 30 times faster. That feels like an unfair advantage. And then, yes, you can unpack it. But you were absolutely on the right thread, Vlad. You've got it in spades. You're doing really, really well. So I'm excited to see you develop this pitch. Do you have any questions for me on the feedback you've had today or anything around the pitch?
Thanks for the feedback so far, Caroline. And no, I don't have any questions.
Not at the moment. Okay, in which case I'll leave you with the question to say, what is your big takeaways from today? What have you learned? And if you could all be starting to think about this and just dropping your big ahas or your big takeaways or the one thing you've learned that you're going to use to update your pitch with, if you could just drop those in the chat, I'd love to see what you guys are taking away and if I can expand on that for any of you as I go through the Q&A and round the room. Has anybody joined late that feels that they should have pitched or would like to come up to the floor? If you have, please do let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going with my Q&A.
Yes, hello, sorry. I'm Alessandro Napoli from Lemons in the Room. I just arrived.
Okay, very good. I thought I saw somebody sneak in. So Alessandro, Lemons in the Room. Let's put you on a timer. How it's going to work is you give your 1 minute pitch and I'll give you some feedback on your pitch. And we're going to keep it to that 1 minute just so that we can keep time for Q&A at the end. So the floor is yours. Take it away.
Okay, Lemons in the Room is an innovative startup developing digital therapeutics with the power of virtual reality. Our solutions are created for hospital environment and for people undergoing invasive or painful treatment, such as chemotherapy or broad drawn for children. Through our scenarios and experiences, people can experience a reduction in pain, stress, and anxiety, and overall having a better quality of life. Our solution is tailored on the hospital needs, so it's easy to use with no training required, and the technology itself is not a limit for the use, neither for the patient or for the hospital or for the nurses or doctor. We sell this as a service, so it's hardware, software, training, and maintenance all in one package. And it's cheap and easy to handle for everyone.
Okay, Alessandro, thank you so much for taking the stage. You did a good pitch there. You had lots included. There were elements at the end where we were obviously trying to wrap up and we're hitting the 1 minute. That's always the challenge. And one of the things that's so important at the end of any pitch is that we're very clear on what our ask is. What is your ask? How much funding are you asking for? And what are you going to do with that funding? And as I recommended to the others, you want 3 things that you are going to do to accelerate your growth and look at your roadmap for the future. So that's something I would encourage you to do. You talk about the fact that you are doing something in breakthrough in cancer treatment. This is one of the most important medical pieces of work you can do. And I know that you're passionate about it, but I really want you to come through with a bit more of what your unfair advantage is. And if you'll have missed me talking about this with the others earlier, but you talk a bit about the benefits to the well-being, to health, reducing stress. And these things are wonderful if you're talking to somebody who's living this experience and that's something they desperately want, but you're talking to investors. So think about the audience you're talking to. You are not talking to consumers. They want to know, what is this technology for? What is your unfair advantage and how are you going to defend that position? So why you, why now, and absolutely what is the opportunity for them? So I know that you have got an unfair advantage in your offering. Can you tell me a bit about what that is? Have I lost you? I think I could have lost him to Signal there. I can't see him on screen anymore. In which case, Alessandro, I hope you come back because we have lots to cover. But I know that there is so much that can be done in sort of developing all of these pitches. So I'm going to go back to Q&A and see if Alessandro rejoins us. Okay, let's go over to Pocket IP. How are we doing? Are we still with us? Elena, are you still with us in the room?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So just reflecting on the feedback you've had today, did you have any questions for me directly?
I think that I shouldn't be a lawyer on the stage. It's because as I'm a lawyer, it's all about deadline, and I need to be faster, but not this time. So thank you very much. And also about the personal experience, I think about that somebody can have more, but not about less. So main adventure, and now I wrote a lot of. So.
Fantastic.
And now I'm thinking because I like very much Louis Manuel pitching, and I was thinking how can I say in simple words about our legal words. So thank you very much, and I think that I will change a little bit my pitch and try to be slowly.
Absolutely. You're already starting to go to the practice as you're talking to me now. I'm going to speak slow. I'm not going to be my fast lawyer. I'm going to be slow and clear and the perfect salesperson. Fantastic. Well done. Yeah. Fantastic, Elena. Thank you so much for coming back on. Again, if you have any questions, do come back up and ask me. Going back to Recycllux, have I still got you with us? I'd love to hear. Yes. Do you have any questions for me at this stage?
No, I don't have questions. Actually, one small question. So first, I need to start with the magnitude of the problem and then to go to my personal experience and why I started this company.
That is personal choice. So it is absolutely what is going to be the biggest hook to get that attention. So as I talked earlier about that you have between 10 and 20 seconds to get the entire audience to stop what they're doing and pay attention to you. And if you can imagine that you may have just listened to a great pitcher on stage and the investors are thinking, I want to be in with them. And they're writing notes furiously and they're looking at their emails and they're trying to set up a calendar invite because they really feel the person who's just been on before you was gold. You want them to stop what the hell they're doing and listen to you because you're even better. And you need to come on that stage and you need to get everybody's attention in the room. So think about the way that you do that. Now, when we get to Malta, there's going to be in-person pitch practice where I'm going to help you with owning the stage and your presence and the use of the projection of your voice and how you're going to capture people's attention. We will get to that. What's important now is the content. So review your content. What is it the investors are interested in? An emotional story is something that can connect very strongly with an investor. Don't think it doesn't, but research who's in the room. What are they interested in? Do these people have kids? If they do, they're going to resonate when you say, I can't see my children doing this anymore. If absolutely none of them have kids, it's going to be less of a hook, but they should have compassion. But, you know, it's knowing your audience, knowing who you want to connect with, and absolutely getting them to feel it and to go, okay, this is worth listening to, because maybe people don't have kids, they've got brothers, they've got sisters, they've got families. So, you know, there's always a hook there. Your emotional story is so powerful. I know that it's going to be something really great in the semi-final. Whether or not that's something you lead with, again, it's going to be something to review and have a look at, Serena, but there's no right or wrong. It's you doing what you feel gives you the most powerful start.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So it's 7 minutes in the first day and then 5 minutes in the final if we make it to the final.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Perfect. Do I have So-Me still with us? Have I still got you ladies?
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
No, so we'll bring in some more numbers around traction, around the users and our conversion rate. There was something you said about bringing in...
tightening the start.
Yeah, tightening the start. Did you have any more feedback on that, please?
Sure. Give us your first line of your pitch again.
AI shopping assistants have arrived. The customers are ready, but retailers aren't.
Okay. So think about that first line as a strong hook. Like, does that make the audience you're speaking to sit up and listen and think, wow, this is for me? And that is the challenge I'm going to set to all of you. And if you think about it, are you talking about something general? Are you talking about something mass? Or are you talking about something that the individuals in front of you can actually feel or they can see as a big opportunity. So again, thinking about if your investors are sat in the room and you know you want them to invest in you because you've got whether they're interested in your technology or whether they're interested in your sector or not, the opportunity is so big and so exciting and so now. Does that speak to that? Is it talk to why you? So if you're going to come in and say, hi, we are, for example, and you're going to start with who you are, because that's one of the strengths. So they're investing in the founder as well as the idea. It's giving yourself credibility. If you're going to talk about the market opportunity as you're doing there, it's really helping them understand what is everybody else doing wrong that you're doing right. So there's a real opportunity where you talk about in your deck, retail tech is designed to make money for retailers, not to create an intuitive experience for shoppers. That's interesting. Okay. Not sure I've quite fully hooked in yet, but it was something that interested me. But when you talk about big stats, and especially in the market opportunity, you talked about 80% of people abandon their carts out of sheer frustration. That's over 10 billion lost in retail sales every year. As an investor, there's an opportunity for 10 billion and you know how to answer it. That becomes a much more interesting hook at the start. So I'm not saying I'm right or wrong with this, but these are the sorts of things to start looking at, start thinking about where is the big opportunity that's going to make investor drop his pen, look up and go, okay, I'm listening, because the time is now, the opportunity is huge and nobody else is looking at it the way you are.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you. So back it up with some numbers, I think is what we'll do.
Yeah. And then tell the story around it. Absolutely. Like you've got to start painting a picture to help them fully understand what's behind those numbers, because you're not doing this just in 1 minute, but that opening line has to be hitting you between the eyes with this is the time is now. Okay.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, ladies. Have we got who's next on my list? So I'm going to go circle back round to our seed guys. Lewis, do you want to come back up to the floor? Do you have any questions on what we discussed? Lewis, over to you. Can you hear me? There we go.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't hear Lewis. Sorry. Actually, I have a question. It's not about my pitch. I think your feedback was great and I got the key points. It's about in general, the pitch. I'm not sure if you mentioned or if I understood well, if the semifinals, we can have some support images behind as a presentation. And if we get into the final there, it's just black.
It's just black.
Is it right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, clear.
So the final is when you're just stood under the light and you were going to be bringing everybody on the journey with your words.
Okay, so regarding that, for the presentation, my idea is to be more visual rather than, I will be talking and explain everything. So we have bunch of content in 3D that could be very nice to show. Does it make sense that it's just visuals, or I should put some words to center the audience?
And that's very subjective and it depends on your presentation style. However, what I would say to you to allow you to review that is, are the imagery enhancing what you're saying, delivering more impact to your words, or are they a distraction and entertainment? And if it's a distraction and entertainment, cut it. It is not supportive because they'll be watching the screen and not listening to you. You need them to be listening to yourself. So really it's about making, when we've got logos and numbers and stats and projections and charts, that's talking the investor's language. And if you've said a number, maybe slightly quietly, maybe quickly, they can see on screen, I can read that number that you've just said. So that's why people do it. I personally, I'm a designer by heart and I love things that are beautiful and creative and I hate looking at a spreadsheet, but actually those numbers, when you're talking about them on screen, can really support what you're saying. So consider where you need to make sure that every word is critical and they understand it and it's enhancing that. If you say the name of a brand or an award, if they haven't heard it before, haven't seen it before,
they see it,
they see it and they go, oh, I recognize that. Wow, he's done that, And so it's, again, amplifying what you're saying and making it clearer. So always don't be clever, be clear.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Right, super. Have we got, we're wrapping up in the last few minutes now. So I'm just going to go back to Pedjavan. I can't say your name. I'm so sorry. I'm just struggling today.
Don't worry. It's just the way it's spelled, so.
Okay. So tell me, do you have a question for me?
No, you gave me very valuable feedback. Thank you very much. I wasn't expecting so much of it, so I'm very pleasantly surprised.
Wonderful. Okay, very happy. If you do think of anything, do let me know. I can see a hand up from Mark. Mark, would you like to ask me a question?
Yes, just wondering, we received 2 times email inviting us to this meeting, but it seems CyberSec isn't on, on your list. Could you please clarify if that was a mistake to send us the email, or I cannot understand what's happened today.
I'm sorry, I don't follow it. So you got an email twice, or you were missing an email?
Yeah, you invited us 2 times to be here, but I learned that we are not on your list. I like to learn if it was a false or wrong invite, or your list has us, or I don't know what happened right now.
Don't know what happened, Mark. Which company are you coming in from?
CyberSec.
From CyberSec
with Q at the end.
I don't know. I'm sorry. It will have come from the list of applicants that was shared from Malta Enterprise. So it was very much an invitation from anyone that applied to make sure that they had the opportunity to come in and be involved in these sessions. So thank you for applying and to learn from the semi-finalists. So I'm not sure what the error was. Apologies if there was. And but if you pop an email to Malta Enterprise, I'm sure they can clear that up and clean up the records, and I'll make sure I do that too.
Thank you.
Okay, Mark. Anybody else have a question for me today, just as we get to the wrapping up and the close? If you do, please raise your hand. Otherwise, I'm going to look over to the chat and see what you lovely people are telling me. We've talked about some key takeaways of putting more numbers in. I think, numbers are the language of those investors. So yes, absolutely do that. Let's have a think about what we're doing when we're talking about the ask. So make sure you have a clear ask at the end. They want to know exactly the amount of money that you're looking for and what you're going to be doing with it, and how it's going to help you dominate the market. What a brilliant takeaway, Vlad. Thank you for sharing that. So guys, a few questions around checking on the timing. There's just saying it's a 6-minute pitch, just checking it's definitely 7. Okay, well, now you've asked Molly, you've made me double check myself. So what I'll do is I'll put that on the email with the recording to confirm absolutely these are the timings, because now I've got the fear and I don't want to say it wrong. Otherwise, thank you very much all for joining. I really enjoyed seeing all of your faces. This has been fabulous. I can't wait to meet you all in person in Malta. I hope the sun is shining for us. And if you do have any questions, please get in touch with me. Follow me on LinkedIn. Please drop a line, and I really can't wait to hear your pitches and how you shape up. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Lovely to see some faces.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thank
So
you.
much, Caroline.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.